Ladies with gentlemans, ladies with gentle hands, old people with pension plans, people who graduated college now have less exams. Happy holidays. Welcome to the video.
All right, guys. Well,
Oh, wait,
did I
people who
pause it?
showed up just to flex some bands.
Yeah, people that showed up just to flex some bands. All right. Today's video is no risk, no story. And really what we're going to do is just go into... We haven't really taken, massive risk, but still, you have to have some risk to have some story. So with that being said, let's get into it.
I'm just going to speak from the heart.
Go for it.
Okay, so basically, me and Lance, I don't know if you guys know who Cam Minoir is. Minier. Why are you so much taller than me?
Because I'm sitting straight up.
Whoa. Back up a second. Actually, I don't really care. Okay. Anyway, so I don't know if you guys know who Cam Minoir or Minier is, right? But basically, him and his business partner, Presley Milton, they started this company, I believe, Clip Curator. The Clip Curator, and then there were some other videos or other companies that they've started. But basically, in the video that I'm talking about, Presley basically is talking about how they only were making $3,000 a month. He was only making $3,000 a month when he moved to Miami. And so that's not really the main point of the video, but the reason why we're starting to create this video, one of the reasons at least, is we want to talk about it because we've noticed and we've analyzed any successful person ever. You can observe every single person who's successful. Any one of them has at one point in their life taken a risk, most likely. So, and what that tells me is hyper successful people, the two traits that you're going to find most common is one, that they take a lot of risks, and two, that they're able to sustain a lot of stress and not crush beneath it. You know what I mean? So basically the whole point of this video is if you're not willing to take a risk, then you're not going to have a story. Nobody's going to know your name. You're not going to make any difference in this world. Most likely you're never going to make an impact, and not in a bad way, but just in a way you got to freaking balls to the walls.
Yeah, it's not anything bad against anybody. It's just the truth. Mm-hmm. And Landon and I have experienced that in our own life. It's the main risk that we've taken in the past probably 3 years is we left the school system. So we are homeschooled, but the sophomore year we took so much time and didn't do any school at all. We probably didn't do school for 6 months. 5-6 months. You think?
Yeah.
That we didn't do any school. And that was an issue. We've got it figured out. We got last year completed. But the risk that we took was leaving the public school system because we were raised in the same way that most people are, which is that you leave or you stay in the school system, you go to college, you get a good degree, and you go get a good job with that degree. That's how I was raised. That's how he was raised. Before we started learning about being an entrepreneur and stuff like that, Landon wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to be an engineer. Really, I wanted to get into business. I knew that I wanted to get into business, but I thought engineering was the way to do that, and so did he. That's actually how we met, funny enough.
Wait, actually, can I give a little background? Okay, yeah. So I know the main point of this video is no risk, no story, and I want you guys to understand every single thing that I'm about to say aligns with that main theme, that if you're not willing to risk something, you're never going to be someone. But mainly what I want to talk about is a little behind the scenes on what Lance is saying. So this is almost going to turn into our story, you know what I mean? But it's not. Well, yeah, it is actually. Okay. So anyways, I would say it was about 6th grade when I got into robotics club. I know, nerdy, whatever. Anyways, so basically what you do is you build a robot, there's a challenge, blah, blah, right? So 6th grade, I do this, 7th grade, I do this. And then in 8th grade, I'm doing robotics. At this point in time, COVID was really big. So we were automatically had to be put into these groups. So my friend Alex, or ex-friend, whatever you want to call him, he was friends with Quinn and these two other kids. Basically, we had no clue who each other were. We didn't know anything about each other, whatever. So we got forced into being in a group together because COVID, and we didn't get to choose our partners, whatever, right? So basically, me and him are together, and we were doing robotics throughout the year. We did really good. We made it past our local to regional or something like that and got into states. So the state championship. We didn't actually end up qualifying, but basically we did. I don't even know how to explain it. It's confusing to me too. But anyways, we ended up going to the world championship. It was about state when okay, anyways, so it was about the world championship, or it was about state championship that I met Lance. Or actually no, I met you a little bit before this, and then but we didn't start actually becoming friends until in between states and worlds. So anyways, I would say it's about worlds when we became really close friends, and at this point in time, we had left for Texas. We're on our way back from Texas. Me and Alex went to DC, and it was after DC that me and Lance started becoming incredibly closer, if that makes sense. Mainly because Alex was a dick, and honest, and me and Lance would just share that with with each other. But anyways,
Might have to bleep the name out. No, I'm joking.
Nah, no, because anything. If Alex is watching this, which I highly doubt he'd ever see this, but if he does, 1, I've forgiven you for everything you've done. 2, I probably didn't even tell you that. 3, you were a dick, and I'll tell you that to your face. But 4, I hope you're doing better, and you're actually a decent guy. Anyways, this is going long. We'll cut it around. Okay, so basically, me and Lance started becoming incredibly close around freshman year. So going from 8th grade to freshman year, and it was throughout freshman year that we got, I would say, probably the closest we've ever been. And then it wasn't like Alex was exiled from the group. It's just like he slowly, we slowly stopped being friends with him. Just basically, there were a whole lot of reasons. I'm not going to go into them, but we just stopped being friends with him. And towards the end of freshman year, me and Lance had newspaper class together. So I came up with this idea Lance brought up Andrew Tate once when we were in the hallway. I remember. So freshman hallway, walking by the bathrooms, like pretty close to my locker, Lance asks me if I know who Andrew Tate is. I have no clue who he is. But he was like, well, I just got the real world course or whatever, the Hustlers University, whatever it was called at the time. And I was like, interesting. So I went home and I looked at it, blah, blah, long story short. We ended up getting the real world and we started doing drop shipping. That's how we kind of started in our entrepreneurial, I don't know how to say that word, in our business, in our business endeavors. So then we went from doing drop shipping.
We made a little bit of money with drop shipping, but not much.
Yeah, we did make, I don't even know how many sales we got. But I remember even the first night, we got our first sale the first night, and I was like freaking on fire, bro. I was like, we're going to be rich by tomorrow. Yeah, that didn't happen. Anyways, so, and then after drop shipping, we kind of took a break or hiatus from that. And then during my newspaper class, I came up with this idea for like doing tutoring. Turns out, after trying to start a tutoring company, the dean wouldn't allow us to work with the teachers to work. I don't know. It was complex. But anyways, that didn't work out. So then Lance had the idea or was looking or watching Iman Ghatzi and brought this to me. And he was like, bro, this is a really cool business model. He can go into it, actually.
Yep. So, no, I remember I was sitting at my computer, which was over there, and I was looking into like businesses because I wanted like at that time I was like, all right, we made a little bit of money with drop shipping. I know that I like business now, and I wanted to figure out another way to start making money online using business. So I looked up like online businesses, and of course Iman Ghatzi pops up, and I started watching his stuff. I got really interested in it, and I know now. Actually, no. He had, at that time he had actual information coming out, but then we kind of talked about, or I started learning a lot, and then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna ask Landon if he wants to get in on this with me. So I ended up texting him, I believe, or calling him. I don't remember. It was one of the two, but I was like, hey, do you want to start this company with me? I just want you to watch a few videos, see what you think. If you like it, then let's talk. So he watched a few videos, I'm assuming. And then he ended up calling me back and was like, or texting me, I don't remember, like I said. But he ended up getting back to me and saying, let's do this. So then we were like, all right, we're going to do this. We started doing it, not really any results. Then we were like, you know what? We need to take a big risk. That's when we started homeschool. So we started homeschool after both of our freshman years was over. So start of sophomore year, we started homeschool. And then with SMMA, we did so much work and put so much into that company, but we realized it was not going to have the return that we wanted to have with the work that we were putting in, because we were inexperienced and we had no idea what we were doing.
That model, at least, because
Yeah. Well, then, sorry. Yeah, that model that we had then is completely different from the model we have now. So the model we had then was more advertising based and involved us reaching out to contractors, like roofing contractors, stuff like that, and never work with contractors, first of all. Let me finish.
All right.
And then we were also putting in freaking 10-hour days, making, like, I remember one day we did 1,000 cold calls in a day, and we ended up hopping on an interview with this guy the next day who had another SMMA, and he was like, yeah, I'm doing 30 calls today. And we were like,
and I was like, how many meetings? He's like, freaking 5 meetings.
yeah, we booked.
Oh, cool,
Yeah,
shoot me.
he booked 5 meetings with 30 calls, and meanwhile we're over here doing 1,000, and we booked maybe 2 or something like that. We were like, bro. So we realized that we're probably not the best at cold calling. We're probably not the best at any of that. So then we decided to kind of go into more of like what Cam Minier does, or Minu or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It looks like it, but no. We kind of decided to go into that, and that space is more along the lines of content, and we've
Cam ever sees you just
we've both been in the content space for a while, because as we were building that SMMA, we wanted to start building a personal brand for ourselves. And then when we started doing that, we were like, all right, now we're going to start using what we know with content and basically start not a content agency, but we're helping people grow their social media. Anyway, we're going to say.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I knew freaking SMA probably wasn't right, maybe kind of from the day one, because I remember it was like 11:40 at night, 11:40 p.m. I think we just went to dinner. I feel like this was the dinner. We went to dinner with my mom and Lance's dad to talk about homeschool at a place called Wolfie's, and I think we spent the night after. We were at Lance's. I was literally up against that wall, called freaking Rhino Rugby. You remember that, bro? Yeah, and then this guy was pissed. He's like, why are you calling me at 11:49? Which, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of fair.
It was the right decision at the time, because you were like, we just need to take the jump and just do it. And I was like, all right.
Honestly, I wish I would have kept that mentality throughout
No, we should
the
have.
past year.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So, and then we called that guy, and he was like, it sounded like he was like so uninterested. First of all, we were freshmen in high school. We sounded like babies still, especially you.
Thanks.
No, not in a bad way,
No,
but
John, I'll give him a little example.
yeah.
I also had this speech impediment, so anytime I would say like rabbit, for example, it'd sound like wabbit.
Insert.
Or my favorite what?
I'm gonna insert the clip here.
Winded on my life. And like it's been something that I've been worried about. Oh.
No. I don't even know how to do that voice.
And
It's so loud.
And it was so high pitched. So he sounded
You guys
like
might actually be able to hear it occasionally when I speak like super fast.
he sounded like a kid, and I'm surprised that the guy didn't hang up on us like automatically. But the guy ended up talking to us for like 2 minutes, and he was like, "Just send me a proposal," which basically means F off. But but no, I remember that night because it was literally right in my room, right there when I had my desk flipped around. But no, so when we did that, that was kind of our first jump into entrepreneur. Being
You can't say it.
No, I was gonna say
No.
entrepreneurship.
I don't know anybody.
But
who
I
can
don't
say
think
that.
that's the right word, the right thing to
Nobody
say.
can say what I was.
So that was our first like lunge into.
Entrepreneurial.
Shut up. That was our first time kind of jumping into entrepreneurship. So then that's when you said you felt it probably wasn't going to work out, which is crazy because that's the first day that we started actually calling people and getting work done. But we wasted probably 3 months on that. And then we basically, like, we had not really any good results with that. And the only time we ever had good results was when we were helping somebody with their content. And that's when we got paid. And that's when we decided, kind of internally, basically being me. I don't know if he decided that, but I remember kind of deciding I want to focus more on content because I love content. Content's fun for me to do. It's easy to do for me.
No, once we got like
And it makes me creative, and I like being creative.
once we got like our first client, you could say, or like we started doing content. I'd agree with Lance. From day one, editing videos, making thumbnails, starting to do that, and then starting to realize actually the psychology behind ads, the psychology behind why people do certain things. And then you can also realize, like, building systems, building processes, building funnels, all that. I remember your dad saying, millionaires sell products, billionaires sell systems.
Your uncle.
Maybe it was my uncle. I don't even know.
No, it was in Utah.
There's just a lot of people. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Trip to Utah.
Yeah, so basically my uncle runs a massive lead generation company, and he was saying one day, he's like, millionaires sell products, billionaires sell systems. It's like, damn. Like, that made so much sense, because it really does. It makes a lot of sense. That and freaking systems like 15x. I mean, anyways, yeah, so my point is, we started, like, that's when I don't know. There's a video. It's a course that Cam has out, and it's like Presley's like, man, I foam at the mouth when I'm talking about systems. I'm the same way. Like, I love learning. I'm not even like what me and Lance are doing right now with like Airtable, frame, all these things. It's like, bro, I'm freaking getting turned on by the sight of systems.
All right, but anyway, that's kind of our story to where we got, or how we got to where we are now. But the thing, like, kind of leading this back to the point which we're trying to stick to, and it has to do with risk. Right? So if we weren't willing to take any risk at all, we would still be in the public school system, not doing business. And if we were doing business, then we wouldn't be doing it at the level we're doing it right now, because 7 hours out of our, like, to spend 7 hours on anything is crazy. Yeah. Like, I feel like we don't even really make that much money, and I feel like I have zero time as it is right now. Like, it's just, that's how it is. But if we weren't willing to take that risk, and we weren't willing to put our heads down and work for every day for the past freaking almost 3 years now. Now, like I said, last year we did procrastinate a lot of things, but this year I feel like we've gotten so much accomplished, and it's only been it's only been 21 days, so it's been 3 weeks, and I feel like we've gotten more accomplished this year than we have ever. Anyway,
I know Lance said, like, the whole we don't even feel like we're making that much money, all that crap. I want you guys to know, if this could be a year down the road, until we're probably making $1 million, I won't consider us rich.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just how that is. Like, I mean, eventually we'll probably update you guys on, like, how much money we make, how much we charge our clients, all that. And I would love to do that.
Make a video on that.
Yeah, especially with the deal we're about to sign, all that. But I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. It's just the way that our minds work right now. Yeah. It's not like it's a bad thing to kind of say, like, I'm not rich until I make $1 million, because we both know that the average salary is $54,000 a year, and that if you're in the 1%, you're making $540,000 a year, I think it's like 540. But if the way that we've kind of programmed ourselves is that we have certain standards that we hold ourselves to, and if we're not there, then we're not going to consider ourselves to be successful. Now, I want to wrap this video up because it's been a little bit too long for how long we like to keep our videos. But no, like I said, if there's no risk, then you have no reward, and you have no story. So without our risk, we wouldn't be able to sit here and tell you all of our story right now, because we would just be at school being a normal 16, 17-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Right? We wouldn't even be the people or the men we are today. That's what I would say.
Now, to kind of finish this off with Lance, I know we've been yapping a lot this entire video, and we probably should be more organized, and we're definitely going to be in the future, but you guys just got to understand, freaking even video gamers, Mongrel dropped out of school, not even being able to compete in a Fortnite tournament. And I know that sounds like such a random freaking anecdote to bring up, but it's the truth. Mm-hmm. He dropped out at 13 years old, not having anything else going for him except a video game, and he wasn't even able to compete. The age to compete was 16. They hadn't dropped it down to 13 yet. And he was screwed. He took a risk. Look where he's at now. I mean, I'm assuming you guys know who that is. Any person ever. Conor McGregor, he was supposed to be like a plumber in the family business, and he was like, I'm going to freaking fight.
Most billionaires dropped out of high school, college.
Yeah, most billionaires dropped out of high school.
Or college.
Jeff Bezos was selling books out of his garage. Mm-hmm. It's like, Luke Belmar came to Argentina, came from Argentina to the U.S. with a suitcase, $200, nowhere to live. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys have to understand, these people had nothing, but made something of themselves. and they took risks. They didn't even need to take every cent. I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I believe almost every single dollar that Luke Bumar made, aside from living in his car, went to Bitcoin. You can't get riskier than that. That's a coin coming out in freaking 2017. People barely even know what that is at the time.
Came out in 2012.
No, I know. I'm saying coming from 17.
Oh.
Or coming from 2017. That's when he was doing it. Like, people barely even knew what that was at the time. It's like, you guys got to understand, if you want to make a name for yourself, if you're watching this video and you're like, I want to make a name for myself, I want to do something, I want to make an impact, whatever, me and Lance are even starting to realize this. We have to take more risks. Mm-hmm. You have to take a freaking risk.
I literally texted you that.
Yeah, he texted me that yesterday.
I texted him that yesterday. I might actually pop it up on the screen if I'm editing or once I start editing this. But I texted him yesterday. I was like, bro, we need to take more risks. Because there are people that have literally taken these massive risks and then they have a massive reward. But sometimes you take a massive risk and you have a massive failure. And either way, people always talk about failure like it's a negative thing. If I'm failing, I'm still winning because I'm learning, right?
Yeah.
That's how that should work. It's how, for most people, it doesn't work, but for a lot of people, it should. But no,
like with homeschool.
Yeah.
With homeschool, with homeschool, basically, the first year, like Lance was saying, we were doing our work for a while. And then we stopped doing our work for a little bit because we were trying to focus on the business. We were just freaking cold calling all day. We were on meetings, or we were on these meetings with our mentorship every single day. We were just doing crap every single day. And I know there was a point in time, like probably the year span, sometime, we were just being lazy, procrastinating, all that. But, I mean, we still got our schoolwork done on time. We had to figure it out. Mm-hmm. That second semester, we had to figure our freaking school out. But the thing is, take a freaking risk. And that's a small one at that.
Yeah. No, with that being said, I think we wrap up the video here. I mean, yeah, no risk, no story. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take a risk.
All right, guys. We'll see ya. Peace.